What's up, YouTube? So, as I said, today's topic how to find properties, especially during this hot sellers market, because I know many people, many buyers are looking to find a perfect property that fits for BRRRR strategy, especially in Canada, in Windsor, and I know many cities in Ontario are pretty hot nowadays. So, that's why I thought I would give some tips on how to find, because I'm finding deals for me, for my investors, for my clients. Me and my team are finding properties all the time. So that means there gotta be a way to find deals. So if you're an investor, let me know in the comments below how are you finding the properties. But before I get into that topic, because it's month second date on the month, that means we have updates for last month for Windsor, Ontario real estate market stats. So it's surprising. Actually, I'm just looking at the stats. Average sale price has increased by, like, comparative to 2019, the average sale price increased 28.04%. That means if you purchased a property in 2019 for 336,000, now your property value is 430,000, which means your property appreciated by 100,000 in 1 year. 100,000 appreciation in 1 year in Windsor. So it's crazy. But again, look at this way: the best time to buy real estate anytime is 5 years ago, and the second best time is now. So again, that's stat. And the listings and the sales increased like 17%, and the number of listings went down compared to last year. So it's an interesting market to see. But during this hot time, do you think we can find properties that are specially fit for investment purpose and in specific BRRRR strategy? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What's up, everyone? Where are you guys hopping live from? Let me know. Just say hi so that I know who is watching. Just throw that your hi and tell me a little bit about who you are. Where are you watching from? And have you invested in real estate, or are you looking for investing? Put that details in the comments so I know you guys. I can see your name. Hey Anji, how are you, buddy? So, this is a really interesting topic. How do I find a property? Because so many getting frustrated. 80% of the buyers, especially who like new to the market, kind of really excited because the market is moving quickly. They want to buy something, but they're frustrated because they couldn't find the numbers, or they couldn't find the right property. So actually, before even knowing the tactics to find the right property, you need to be prepared. So before you start hunting, you need to be a little bit of preparedness. You need to be prepared in a way so that you understand what is the good property or what is a bad property. So what I mean by that, now you want a really good property that fits for BRRRR strategy, but you don't know what's anything about properties, and you don't have any finances. Then how can you find a property, right? I don't know if is it makes sense to you. Let me know in the comments. So because I know many, especially first time investors, I get calls saying that, hey, I wanna find a BRRRR strategy, a property for BRRRR strategy. Tell me how. Now, in written, I ask question to you: where are you standing currently? What do you know about real estate? Thank you, Ishan. Thanks for hopping on. Let me know your questions and let me know how you're finding. I know you found 2 or 3 properties in last 1 year. So let me know in the comments how you did while I'm talking about the topic. So basically, like, if you're coming and if you're asking someone that how to find a property, you need to be prepared a little bit, because now where are you gonna get the funding from, and how are you gonna get it, and how much funding are you ready with? Either it could be your money or private money or your father's money or whoever. Where is your money coming from, and how much is it? How much is that available for you? X amount. You need to know that. That's very, very important. I will get to the next point before, why point before I go there. So that's really important to know how much money you have or how much money you can pull together to buy a property. So number two, now you need to know the market. Where do you want to buy? What type of properties you want to buy, and what type of tenants you want. How much work you want to invest, like how much money you want to put towards renovations. What type of renovations you want to do. So many things goes on and on, because BRRRR strategy means you have to buy a property and do some renovations and rent it out and refinance and repeat the same. That means if you don't know how to buy a property, then you cannot do the renovation part. If you don't know how to do the renovation part, you cannot rent it out. So in the BRRRR strategy, that's really important. You need to understand at least. Again, for the first property, obviously no one knows everything. So when I got my first property, I did a BRRRR strategy, but in a different way. But I did renovations. I found a property that need TLC work, that need flooring, kitchen, washroom, painting, and all those basic elements that can be upgraded to get the best value. So you need to understand. First, just get some preparedness with the money. Second, understand what you want. And now this is the time where you need the strategies, how to find. Because when, especially hot markets like this, to find a good property, you need to act very quickly. So in order to act quickly, one, you need to know where the money is coming from and how much. And two, you need to know what that property, if that property is a good one or not. That means you need to know about the market. You need to know how much the property would worth currently and how much it can be valued after renovation. So you need to know those things. How do you know? You need to work with the right people. So ask your agent. That's one thing. If you're a first-time home buyer, especially when I didn't know anything, but I was really looking for a BRRRR strategy. So the first best thing I did is I started working with Cassidy, who she was my first realtor and a good friend after that. So basically, I used to bug her every day. Okay, how much the property valued currently with has this condition, and what would be the value after repair value, once I do the renovations, and what kind of renovations I need. So those are the type of questions. So now you know what type of properties, now you know what the market look like. Now you gotta make offers no matter where you find the property. So where can you find them? Start with Kijiji. Start with actually MLS. MLS is a huge database where, of course, 80% of the properties or even 90% of the properties doesn't make sense for BRRRR strategy. But there will be 10%. That is the first huge database to look into. And then Kijiji, and then for sale by owners, walk around, roam around the city, wherever you see for sale by owner or on Kijiji or marketplace. Nowadays, marketplace has been growing pretty significantly. So go look on marketplace, go look on for sale by owners. And also I have seen many people who are getting deals from wholesalers. Also get connected. Who is wholesaler in the city? If you're looking in Windsor, reach out to people who are finding off-market deals. So you got to look everywhere, because if you, especially in the hot market like this. But if you're the first time home buyer, especially you're doing it for the first time, better work with the agent, because you don't know all these elements. You don't know how much it would worth. You don't know how much money you have. you don't know so many elements. The first time or second time, the initial part, until you understand those things, I would strongly recommend work with an agent. But once you have a clear picture, now you find deals everywhere and then make offers, because in the hot market, it's really important to make at least 10, 20, 30 offers, because you're not going to get all of them. You're going to get out of 10, 9 rejections, because your price that you're going to offer will only make sense for certain properties, and you're looking for that property that is like current value is has this value. If you add some renovations, the after repair value will help you to pull most of your money out. So that means you need to like really be aggressive in making offers. So in order to make offers, you need to find them, right? So how do you find them? So basically, get every day at least 10-20 minutes at the end, starting of the day or end of the day, wherever you find time. Look on all these resources I just mentioned: MLS, Kijiji, marketplace, wholesalers, any email setups that you have. Look at them and quickly look at the pictures. What does it look like? Is it look like a nice shiny and ready to move in? Then just keep it aside. And if it's like just a basic look and feel, if it's like you can see the kitchen looks a little bit old, the washroom looks a little bit old, the carpet looks odd. So if it's that kind of property, now reach out to your agent. Now find out what's the story with that property. If it's a perfect one, either go see it or just make an offer. So if you get it, get it. If you don't get it, move on to the next one. So you need to be really aggressive. So let me check here some questions. Just out of curiosity, let's assume bought a property built in 1960 and make the house look good with the renovations. After 2 years, if I want to sell the house, does age also matters? Okay, I like the question, but basically, when you're buying a property, when you're selling a property, every type of in Windsor, there are many properties that are even like 100 years old properties. They do sell for a good price. If the property is in a good condition, you will get the top dollar in that market based on the market value. So age does matter, but at the same time, every property has a market value based on that particular location. So if it's 1960s, I don't really worry much, because 1960 is still newer. Most of my properties are like 1920, 1930 old. So I got my first property that was 110 years old, and I sold it, made within like 1.5 year, I made 80,000 profit. So at the end, if you do a nice renovation work, if the structure is good, if the structure is solid, selling would not be an issue. What's the second question? Man, I wish Adi had started his YouTube channel when I was new. These are golden nuggets. Thank you, Ishan. Glad to hear those. What is the best way to reach you? I have been understanding the real estate market every day. I need to build contacts. Do you have any sort of meetups? Okay, so yes, we used to have meetups, but because of COVID, everything got disrupted. Win City Investor Club. That's where we used to host events. But again, now to network, it's more like Zoom calls or video calls. Reach out to us. I will leave my email below. So it's info@wincityrv.com. If you guys want to talk to me, you can always reach out to me there. Let me see if I'll try to put the email in the comments. So yeah, I mean, networking is going on. You can network. I think just we are waiting on this COVID to settle down so we can start networking events again. Going back to topic. So basically, first thing, take that how to find a property off of your mind. Find the right people, you will find the deals, and be consistent when you're looking out for the properties. because you will be knocked down on your offers maybe once, twice, or thrice. But if you make offers like 20 offers, obviously I can guarantee you will at least have one accepted offer. So that means you need to make more offers. The more offers you make, the better property you will get it on contract. And at the same time, the speed does matter. Just like I said a few minutes ago, the Windsor market has been appreciating very, very crazily. So what I was doing from last 3 years was I was just buying properties which can cash flow and which need some TLC work either now or a month or 2 months or a year after. So pretty much just keep looking for the properties, keep making offers. Hey Sav, looking to connect with you to get architect permit drawings for back addition to the house. Ken suggested me to connect with you. Ooh, awesome content always, Aditya. Thank you, Sav. Thanks for hopping on. Yeah, that was a fantastic chat last time, duplex conversion. So if you guys haven't watched that, I'll try to put it in the description below. And if you're looking for learn more about duplex conversions, of course, you have the expert in the chat, Savio. So reach out to him, and I'll try to put a link in the description. So going back to finding the deals, you gotta be connected, right? You gotta be like, you should know people who are finding the deals. You should be looking out every day, because finding a property in a hot seller market doesn't happen right like that. So if you're active, you will receive deals only if you're active. That's another really good tip, because I learned this very, very quickly. Even realtors doesn't want to work with everyone, especially they don't want to waste their time with people who are not even qualified and doesn't even know anything about real estate. So they're just asking all sort of dumb questions. It's good to ask questions, but for a busy professional, if you're asking them, or anyone, for example, any experts, if you're asking them so dumb questions, now they just you gotta value their time. Okay, when I'm asking, at least I want to do my basic research. Go on to Bigger Pockets, go on to my channel, go check out all the videos, go on to check out some books, read how to invest, get the basic knowledge, talk to a mortgage broker, get a pre-approval, get your funding ready. So be basic prepared, so that people will put you in the highest priority list. Why always the investors who are already succeeded get the deals? Because anyone who has the deals will reach out to people whom they know that can close the deal quickly, because that's when you will get the good deals. So if they don't know that, if they don't have confidence, who are like wholesalers or realtors or anyone, if they don't have confidence on you that you can close the transaction, or if they don't feel good about you, if they don't feel comfortable about you because you don't know anything, now you're going to waste so much time with them. So they doesn't respond, or they put you in a low priority. So that's when you lose the deal. So you got to be in that top list in order to get those good deals. So that's my pro tip. Hold on, I'm gonna just go through the questions. If I miss anyone's questions, that's an amazing point. Educate yourself. That's right. That's the right word to use. Educate yourselves. Very true, Savio. Because you need to. Because if you're not educated, no one takes you seriously. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand what you're looking for, if you don't have a clear checklist of what type of property in which neighborhood you need, then how it's gonna matter for other person, right? It's hard to find without a clear checklist. I live in remote place in Southern Albert, and I wish to buy my first home in Edmonton sometime next year. I have pre-approval of certain amount. Now I don't know where to start and how to shop. So good question. Good, you got pre-approval, Joseph. So the next step is especially if you're like really new to the industry, I would say go find a good realtor in your area. Also like do a basic research on what you really want. Are you looking for like a just a home for you to live in, or are you looking for a house hacking, or what is that you're looking for? And just make a list of things, and then go talk to some good realtors, one, two, or three of them, that just see who is very active, who understand the market well, and then pick one and start working with them, especially if you're new. But if you're already a savvy investor, if you already know what you're doing, then just search looking for a property everywhere. I don't know about the market, how it is in Alberta. I wish I could answer more on that part. Yeah, so those are all my tips on how to find. And if anyone have any other tips on finding deals, let me know in the comments below. I would like to hear from you guys. Hey Prabhu, how are you? Hey Mamta, thanks for hopping on. I thought you went for walk, and you walk and talk on the phone. Yeah, thank you, man. Good to see you. So, man, it's really interesting to see how Windsor market is turning from like last 3 years, 4 years, and now. So let's say I find my target investment property, but I'm not from Windsor. Okay, hold on. I'm not from Windsor. All the numbers looks good, but I have no idea of the neighborhood. Is it good or bad? How do I adjust for these factors? Good question. By asking the right questions. So if the numbers looks good, but you don't know about Windsor, you don't know about specific neighborhoods, how can you find? You have to ask either other investors or local realtors who actually are investor focused. So basically you need to find a group of people who are investing. Along with that are people who already investing in Windsor, who can help you. So I would start with asking, and at the same time I would look at videos, because if you search best neighborhoods in Windsor, Ontario, I have a series of videos. I started making series of videos on different neighborhoods, and also I have like a video that actually one of the popular video on my channel where it's a investor. I will put the link in the description, but I really went on try to touch on every neighborhood, pros and cons, and what is the average prices. Of course, don't take that average prices, because that video was like 1.5 2 years ago, and there is a huge difference from the prices from that time and now. But average rentals, what type of neighborhood is it, like A, B, C? So I have a lot more details on that video. So check out some videos, connect with people. That's the way. And the other thing, if you have never been to Windsor, come down and maybe take a couple of days off and roam around the neighborhoods. Go have coffee, talk to the neighbors. So sometimes it sounds so common sense, but people doesn't really see the common sense things as so common. So you got to find ways to learn about that neighborhood. If you're really interested, if you really want to invest in that neighborhood, why don't you spend time in that neighborhood? Go have coffee in that area, go talk to neighbors in that area, go talk to the people who are like living in that area for a while, and just observe. Go during the morning time, go during the afternoon time, go during the evening time. Yes, of course, watch Aditya's videos, because Aditya makes a lot of videos on YouTube. How is it in Windsor? Mohammed Syed. Hey Mohammed. It's Windsor is super cool, man. It's nice and looks like getting dark, and a beautiful sun, moon outside. And lot of appreciations happening in people who owns properties, and still you can find a cash flow property. So of course Windsor is great. and it's a beautiful place just a few minutes from Detroit. I'm trying to pitch on Windsor. Joseph, how do I even connect with realtor in Edmonton when I'm based in remote place? Any suggestions or websites that post listings Canada-wide? A good question. Realtor.ca, where you can find realtors or properties anywhere, any city in Canada, I believe. Realtor.ca is a global website, I believe. If not, every city, most of the cities have their own board, like Windsor has Windsor board. So same way you have different boards for every city. But realtor.ca, point to homes, there are many other websites that you can easily find realtors, you can easily find properties. So see who is listing properties that are like you're looking for, or see who is more active on the type of properties that you're looking to buy, and go talk to them. So the best place, those websites. Along with that, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, those are the three real good place to find right people, because now you don't even, you could find the person and now you can look at their activities, what kind of content they are posting, what type of things they are interested in, what type of what type of people they are. Now you just look out for them and now see whom you like. So if you find few realtors in that area, now go just check out their profile. Is that the type of person you want to work with, and is that the person who is actually knows what they are talking about, do what they believe in that neighborhood. So for example, if you're looking in Windsor, if you look out for any profile, either mine or many other like realtors who are like investor focused, you will see all those, whether they are buying the properties or not. You will see if do they know anything about Windsor market or any that specific location. Do they know anything about it? So you will see based on the content they are producing on their page. Of course, some of them are not content driven. You can still get through personal referrals. So if you know anyone who is investing or living in that city, give a call. Hey, I'm looking for a property of this type in this city. Do you know anyone whom you think would be good person to help me? So get the feedback. If they know someone, then they will connect with them. If they don't know anyone, maybe ask a next question. Hey, do you know whom you think would know anyone who can help me? So you gotta ask questions. Are you holding rentals yourself? If so, are you worried about rentals and stuff, or near to mind term future, say in next 1 or 2 years? Yes, so far I only sold one property, and all the other properties I am still keeping it, and I don't think I will sell them until unless I have some other opportunity that I can leverage from this one. So the reason, because most of my properties, all of my properties actually do cash flow. So cash flow positive, the rent cover all the expenses. So until unless it's covering all the expenses, I don't really want to sell, other than if there is any major issues, or and if I feel like I want to leverage onto different bigger things. So I'm still holding 6 properties, totally 14 units. With what is going on in the US, the freezing of eviction from non-payments of rents, if there is a market correction, especially looking at the stock price at the moment, should we not be worried about getting rental investment properties over leveraging? Great question, Prabhu. I really like the question, because that's a really genuinely valid question that I can answer. So first of all, yes, I would be worried if I leverage too much, where the property income doesn't make sense at all. If you're just buying off of like $1 million property, a single family, like in Toronto, or even in Windsor, there are 700, 800,000, $1 million property single families that doesn't make any income. Yes, I would be worried. But instead, if you're buying a 600,000 but 6-unit property, now the tenant's been there. If the market correction happens, knock the wood, I wish it would not happen, but if it would, now who's the one who's going to get affected first immediately? The people who are hold a bigger homes and only just basing on their jobs, and if they lose their jobs, or self-employed, whoever, they don't have any more income coming in, now they cannot pay their mortgage, they are the one who will be affected. That means they're going to look for rentals. So the people who are already living in a rental property, if your rent is not crazy high, for example, you have a single family home and you're renting for $3,000, now they're the one who will be affected. So that means you got to look for properties. For example, if the property making like 1,500, 1,600, they're going to find ways to make that money either doing something else. Like even if you work in a coffee shop, you can still make $2,000. That means you can pay your rent. So I would look for properties that would make cash flow now or even after. So if the property is making cash flow, then you're good. If even the market correction happens, don't sell, just sit on it. Now, because you already have investment property, now you know investing game. If the market correction happens, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna raise money and buy more properties. That's my strategy, because I feel that's the way it should be. Because when everyone is scared, our Warren Buffett, the great all-time greatest investor, says, when everyone is shy, feel you got to be confident and take some action. So basically, now is the time where you have to be careful, you have to do the numbers. That's the topic about how to find the right properties. I'm not saying you to find every property, because not every property does make sense in terms of investment. You got to find the right properties where the numbers make sense, where you can pull most of your equity out by doing this small force appreciation, by doing those little improvements to the property. So when you're doing those improvements, now you can get the market rents, and now your property, look for a property that can make cash flow after that improvements as well. So that way, now I'm not really worried about my rentals if the market correction happens. That's my genuine honest opinion. That's why I just got a 7th property. If you haven't seen that video, check out the previous week video. Kijiji and marketplace, really? I hope I won't get into some sort of a scam. Hey Joseph, that's true. There are some scam people who are posting, but honestly, sometimes you will find good deals. You got to look out every place, but again, don't pay money for people whom you don't even see. Go check out the properties, right? If the market correction happens, like the stock, I think I answered that part. Power of network is immense. Your network equals your net worth. Brother, I agree with you 1,000%, and that's exactly where I started. I didn't know anyone. I started networking literally like 3 years ago. I didn't know anything. Maybe four. My bad. So 4 years ago, I didn't know anything about real estate. I started, going for networking events here in Toronto. I used to go for Toronto like 4 hours drive every day. I not every day. Sorry, I'm exaggerating. Every month, once or twice in a month. ORAC, Matt McKeever's events and events in Toronto, like to learn, to network. Two things happens. Your confidence will grow when you're networking, and also like hanging out like this on live chats, now talking to people who are actually in that game. Because when you're talking to people who are in the game, now your thinking is different from the people who are just thinking and thinking for years but never bought anything. If you're talking to them, that whole conversation is different from the people who own properties from years and made so much money and never worry about financial situation. So yes, networking is powerful. What is the minimum down payment requirement for an investment property? Pervirgil, good question. Again, if it's your first property, if you're saying that you want to live in as a homeowner and have a second unit or third unit, you can still buy for like 5% down or 10% down. But if you're buying straight investment, you already have a primary home with CMHC, then it's going to be 20% down. Standard is 20%. Again, that's for residential. If you're going for commercial, that can go up. I'm worried about people not being able to pay the rent. Good question. That's also another concern. Yes, I'm worried too, but again, that's where your planning comes into picture as well. So for example, like I have 3 of my properties have a HELOC, and in the HELOC I have like close to 50-60,000, and I can buy another property with that money. I'm not touching that. I want to make sure I have at least 4 to 5 months of rent that can cover all my property rent, like all my property mortgage and expenses. I always want to have access to that kind of money all the time, no matter what market condition, not only just now, like any time. Because the worst thing you can do for yourself is selling the property in a stressful moment that you cannot hold it anymore. That's the worst thing, because those are the times where you will be taken advantage and you will be selling for for less price again. So now if you're a buyer, now you have to look for the seller in that situation. But if you're a seller, then that's a sad thing. So you gotta make sure, have some savings. Either it could be HELOC or it could be cash itself or any other form of where you can pull the money and pay it in the worst scenario. So I always want to keep myself in that situation. So I have like a 60,000 line of credit. I try not to touch it. If I ever touch it, I'll try to put it back within like 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. So it's really important. That's a great question. I'm talking to people. Okay. To add to your question, to Prabhu's question, I would say if you believe the doom and gloom is about to hit, then there will be opportunities when no savvy investor begin to sell. Yeah. I love that, Savia. That's a great point. This is why buying cash flowing properties is super important. The asset should be able to carry itself. Yes, love it. I moved from Vancouver. How do I even make networking with unknown people in Edmonton? So Joseph, that's a really good question. So I'll tell you a story actually. I have a client, young guy. You can even see some videos of his. He's from Toronto. He bought his first property like in 2018 or something. He used to come down to Windsor multiple times in a month. And I used to see him for every networking event. So if you really want it, you will find ways to make it happen. If you just thinking of wanting, but you're not really serious, you will try to find a reason for not finding the networking opportunities. So if you really want it, do whatever it takes to call people, go for networking, whatever I just told before. Best area for new investors is best to enter real estate in Ontario. Best areas for new investor is best to enter real estate in Ontario. Jatin, sorry brother, I didn't quite get your question. Are you asking what is the best area for new investors? Then I would say any cities that can cash flow. That's my answer. Doesn't matter whether in Ontario or anywhere. So right now in Ontario, I know Windsor is the best place for now. You said a word, HELOC. What do you mean by work? Sorry, it's not work HELOC. It's HELOC, HELOC, Home Equity Line of Credit. So basically, if you have a house, if you have some equity in that house, so for example, you own a house that is worth 500,000, but currently you only have 300,000 mortgage. So if you ask the bank, they can give you access to that equity in terms of line of credit. So that is a credit available for you. If your property value at 500,000, they can refinance and give you 80% loan to value. And whatever the old mortgage that you have, 300,000, they put it in the mortgage if you want, and 100,000, they can give you access through line of credit. Just like a credit card, but like HELOC is way more like less interest, and you only pay interest when you use that money. And if you don't need, just pay it back. So it's technically a credit card, but lean on the property. I have more other videos on the HELOC part. Check out those for detail. Um, for more details on that part. House tax interest for international students. House tax and interest for international students. So house tax is same for anyone in Windsor. Interest for international students. First of all, if you're an international student, if you don't have income, you won't even qualify for mortgage if you don't have peer. Until unless if you have cash to buy or someone who can guarantee you for your house. So you need to have a partner to qualify for mortgage. So account for a few months for has a rainy day. Yes, that's right, Prabhu. Yes, 100%. Doesn't matter whether we are in a bad situation or in a good situation. You always, because there will be always certain issues come up with real estate. It could be tenants leaving the property, or it could be some, maybe you have a roof. Some issue happened, like your roof had a hole and now it ripped into. So you have some major ticket item. So always you need extra funds available. You need to keep yourself access to some funds for emergency need. And real estate do always have issues come up, no matter what is the age of the property. Yes, go to the Savios event. Hi Aditya, hey Josh. I have a primary resident with 2 units and I'm house hacking. First of all, kudos, that's awesome. But I was wondering, how should I purchase my second property? So pretty much you have the answer. You have a duplex. So that means now if your duplex has a more than 20% equity, now refinance and go buy another property with a 5% down. But again, or if, because now you already own a property, you know how much income it can produce, go find a property, find a partner who can give you money to buy another property, or make extra money, save enough money to buy another one. So here is how I did. Exactly, I was in your shoe 4 years ago. I bought my first duplex and I was living in one unit, renting out the other unit. And now I started to save a little bit on my monthly expenses. So I started to save more money by being so cheap for next 6 months, and I borrowed some money from friends. Like within 6 months, I saved enough down payment, 20% down payment for the second property. That's how I got it. And I know people does it in a different ways. So you gotta find ways so that you can find another property. Okay. What about the first time home buyer with kids? Where in Windsor should you recommend? Nabin, that's a good question. So I started making some neighborhood specific videos. Actually, I talked in another videos where like really detailed. Just search for best neighborhoods in Windsor, Ontario. You will see some videos that I made talking about different neighborhoods, what specific. But in a nutshell, my favorite neighborhoods for families: South Windsor, LaSalle, Tecumseh, Forest Glade, East Windsor. If you go further down, Hammersburg. So these are my favorite neighborhoods. Down payment for 500K house, first time home buyer. Of course, if you're a first time home buyer, if it's 500K or less, you can buy it for 5% down, which means 25,000 plus closing cost, and that would be another 5 to 10K at max. Prabhu, exactly. I always leave 5,000 in all my bank accounts has rainy fund. Yep, that's always. Do this for every one of your properties, so you won't have any issues whatever happens to your tenant situation. Love it. Hey Sabi, thank you. Soma Army, I love that hashtag. Guys, we need to come up with the team name. Hashtag Soma Army, Soma Squad, Fam Soma. Oh, love it. Thank you, Sabi. But you have to have a job to get 5% down. So either you have to have a job or you have to have an income source. So even if you're self-employed, if you've been self-employed for more than 2 years, then you would qualify depending on how much income and expense. So if you don't have any qualification, then of course now you have to find a partner who can qualify. So recently I came across a investor. Actually, he was like not even an investor. He's a first-time homebuyer. He got his permanent residency. He's new to Canada, but he got his permanent residency. He was not even qualified for mortgage. So he literally told me this story. Like, he asked all his friends whom he knows in Canada who is working, hey, can you be my, like, co-signer on my mortgage? He literally asked, like, he told me like maybe over 20 people. Guess what? Finally, one friend said, I'll help you, brother. Boom. So you gotta do whatever it takes. If you don't qualify, then find a person who can qualify and you come up with that money. If you don't have money and if you don't qualify, now go find the deals. Go door knocking, find the deal that makes really sense. So in order to make sense, now you have to learn about markets, learn about the property prices, learn about what each neighborhood, find the perfect deal and pitch it to the investors or pitch it to the people who has money. So you gotta find ways. So I also heard that CMHC is not letting that happen. You can still go with Genworth Financial and Canada Guarantee. Is that difficult? No, actually you have the question and you have the answer, brother. That's true. Right now, CMHC kind of tightened the rules, but other insurers said, screw you, we are not going to do that. We're going to just stick to our rules because we want to help people who are looking to buy their first house. So still the rules with CMHC changed, but other insurers haven't changed. Aditya, I bought a house last year in Brampton, but I wish to buy something downtown. I hate subs. What can I do? And I'm broke. I bought a house last year in Brampton, but I wish to buy something downtown and I hate subs. What can I do? So that's when, if I'm not much aware of the Toronto area, but all I know is like Toronto is crazy high prices. So you gotta find cities where you can make cash flow. And if you're talking about investment side, if you're talking about living in a neighborhood, then that's obviously your personal choice where to live based on your qualification. But investment purpose, if the location doesn't make sense, if you cannot cash flow in that location, look outside. Of course, it's always good to be closer, but if you cannot find anything that can cash flow in your close neighborhoods, then go outside of it. That's why people started to come for Windsor. I believe that's one of the reasons why Windsor is coming up. And I feel there is a lot more room to grow in Windsor and still making cash flow. Or now started to apply strategies like Savio did, duplex conversions. Now you can make some cash flow out of it. Good information. Thank you. So I also heard CM. Oh no, that's gone. That's already done. Sabi, I'm in the same boat. I'm also broke. Want a 1M home, 1 million home. Oh my God. Yeah, of course, man. That's a sad thing. I was in Toronto, but thank God, I think it's destiny. I was like, it's my destiny. I landed in Windsor, but I have some friends. I can feel their pain because they're sitting on $1 million property, and it's super high, and the mortgages are crazy. If you know that this is haunting you from doing other things, why don't you just sell and take that hit and do something that you really love to do? Because if that is really overhead for you, I know that's a tough place to be in. I know it's really hard to make that decision, but you gotta think what's best for you, not just having a good house. Or find ways to make money from that house, adding a basement suite or adding other bedrooms or Airbnb. Find ways. I don't know much about Airbnb. Again, don't quote me in Toronto. You're in Toronto and would like to move to Windsor, but it's a long commute. Ask for your employer to give you work from home, or find job in Detroit. We have the job market is slowly picking up in Detroit. if you're a Canadian, you can get with the TN visa. So you gotta find ways. You gotta find ways. I was just joking. Oh man, I'm still trying to catch up with Canadian sarcasm. I'm still an Indian, solid Indian. I don't get these jokes. Come on, be serious. I'm most likely going to sell my condo in Toronto, move to Windsor, and find a place that I can cash flow and live rent free. Just you to find the right property. Just need you to find the. Of course, me and my team always here for you guys if you're looking in Windsor. But even if you're not looking in Windsor, of course, find the right people in wherever the city you're looking for. In Windsor, obviously, we are the best team. What are the best areas to invest in Chatham? Mike Singh, I'm so sorry, brother. I'll try to make a video. I'll try to find, I know one investor who owns bunch of properties in Chatham. I'll try to get hold of that person. Or if you know anyone, any investor who is investing in Chatham, let me know in the comments below their name. I'll try to get hold of them, maybe make a tour of Chatham tour video. So I'll keep that in mind. I got that question from multiple people. It's all good. Windsor has some decent prices on homes. Yeah, I mean, Windsor also have good prices. Windsor also have a very expensive homes. But if you spend the same $1 million in Windsor, you can get a good size mansion. Just curious at this. When did you get your realtor license and how much was it? And also, was it more difficult that it is now? No, actually, pretty much I was looking into the new course, how Humber College started. I got when it was with Oria, but it's the same courses, same 5 courses before license. It's like you have 5 exams. You have to pay like probably it costs you 7,000-8,000 in total by the time you get the license and the board fees. So it's a bit of expensive. I got my realtor license on January 31st, 2019, because I gave my resignation and quit my job on February. So that it's been 1 year 7 months, and 1 year 7 months been very fruitful. My English kind of sucks now. And I mean, it's not really difficult. You just have to read. You gotta find time to read. I was working full time and I was investing at that time. Like I used to wake up in the morning like 6 o'clock and read for 1.5 hours and go to work. And before bed, I'll try to spend some time to read. And also there was like good websites like Pass It. Pretty much for first 2 exams, I read the book, but for all the other exams, I just read the Pass It for 3 weeks or 2 weeks and gave the exam. So if you want it, it's not that difficult. What area is the best place to do BRRRR strategy in Ontario? Dominic, obviously Windsor is the best place, man. The reason I say that because in Windsor, after refinancing, you can still make cash flow. Because that's really important. You do the BRRRR strategy, but if you're not making cash flow after BRRRR strategy, it's not good. Damn. Which area Windsor Punjabi community live? I love that. South Windsor, Talbot Trail, and there are some pockets in Forest Glade. South Windsor is pretty popular for Indian community. Not much of a big Sikh community like Punjab is like in Brampton, but I would say like in general, the whole Indian community, mostly South Windsor, LaSalle, Forest Glade. These are the 3 areas, and slowly now they are spreading everywhere, slowly going into East Windsor, slowly going into Tecumseh, but majorities are in this area. So much progress for you. Yeah, man, you gotta work hard. I really enjoy this game. You gotta really love it. First of all, you gotta willing to like wholeheartedly willing to learn, because it's so much stuff. Real estate career it's not easy, but it's if you're like if you have a fire to be good at something, then you can do really well in real estate. And of course, if I can do it, and that means I'm pretty sure any of you guys can do it, because I'm not born and raised here. English is not my first language. And real estate, I have no idea. I'm an IT guy. I was working for software company for Chrysler, programming. That was my education and that was my qualification. So it's about the desire. If you really want it, one thing I always, what really motivates me is like, I don't want to die with regrets. I really don't want to die with regrets. I want to do things that, whatever that comes into mind, if I really want it, I want to do it. If you want it, then do it. Good to see. Nice. What is that? Pass it. Yeah, pass it. If you let someone put the mortgage house under their name due to situation, is there a way for them to put your name under the house too? Sorry, let me reread it. If you let someone put mortgage or house under their name due to situation, is there any way for them to put your name under that house too? So I mean, again, this is a really a personal relation question, because if you know the person really well, or if you have a contract with them, a legal contract or something, yes. But in terms of legal side, that's something hard to say, because that's your personal way of dealing those things. But if you're like looking for a money partner for your project who can put you put their name on the title for the mortgage qualification, and now you have a JV agreement, like joint venture agreement, which states who is responsible for what, with a lawyer, clearly everything, you both binding to certain a solid contract. Where do you used to work? Do you have to renew your license at any point? Where did you used to work? Do you have to renew your license at any point? I used to work for same real estate as a realtor, but job, I used to work for Chrysler. And as soon as I got my real estate license, I said goodbye for job, because I know I want to do this full time. I want to focus on one thing. That was my thing. That's why. So Joseph, they changed it earlier this year. Aditya, I was showing your channel to my sales manager in India. He said he knows you through your YouTube videos. Wow. Thank you, Sabi. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know I watch your videos all the time. It's so much relaxing when I see your videos, and an Indian guy, just the same story. I can connect with you, and such a massive audience. So love to meet you sometime in person. I cannot wait to. Yeah, man. I cannot wait to meet you, talk to you. St. Clair College, live on rent in South Windsor, basement, or any other areas. Sorry. St. Clair College students live on rent in South Windsor, basement, or any other areas. St. Clair College kids live on in South Windsor, and also many people live on Campbell, those student rental areas, because they have bus that can goes to South Windsor St. Clair College campus. But there is also St. Clair College in downtown, like a campus, small campus where there is a bunch of courses. So that means people live in downtown area, West Windsor. Is the guy who invested with you from Toronto at Windsor? So that's the guy. He haven't invested with me, but he's one of my client. But that's the client I was telling the story about. Yes, Austin. Yeah, he's a great guy. I love his energy. Home buyer benefits for helping with the closing cost. Sorry, I didn't get the question. Maybe I have to read the first question. So you can add your name to the title, but it all depends. In case I don't want to put my wife's name on the title, because I plan to buy a property under her name and I use the first name. Yeah, actually, Prabhu, that's a great point. Yeah, still now I have 7 properties, but I haven't put my wife on any property. So first reason, initially she was not qualifying for the mortgage and she was new to Canada. And for the other reason too, like where banks will start to restrict you after you have certain number of properties. So now my wife is slowly making income. Now she has a consistent income and she will eventually qualify for mortgage. So now I want to leverage her So that's a great point, Prabhu. I appreciate that. You are inspiring. I'm writing my third exam almost halfway through. Anosha, good luck with that and let me know once you're done. I'm looking for an agent to join my team. We are killing it. So if you are curious to learn from an expert, then reach out to me. We'll talk. Sales pitch. Sorry, guys. What does a typical day look like? Real estate agent's day or investor day? Because I always wear a investor hat. Sometimes I wear a realtor hat. So it's an interesting day. Sometimes so stressful. It's a roller coaster ride. You start with a like super energetic, and some kind of challenge comes up, and you get into so much emotional drain, and then slowly you have a black coffee, a sip of coffee, and then go back to energize and do something. And if the transaction went through and your client calls you and say thank you so much for helping me to find this or sell this property, then again your heart started to pump with so much happiness. So the day is exciting and scary. It's kind of mixed feelings throughout the day. That's why I think realtors get addicted to real estate, because always when there is good and bad all the time, it's always like new every day. So you're always excited about it. Did you buy your first house by yourself? Joseph, yes. I got my first property on my own. It was first time home buyer program, of course, 5% down. But I didn't even had my permanent residency. If you're a Canadian, maybe you're not aware of permanent residency. But if you're an international student like me, you know, permanent residency, yeah, most of the lenders want permanent residency. But I was working for a year or so. By the time I literally approached so many lenders, and one lender said, yes, I can give you, and this is what I want from you. So finally they did. You got to ask, what is your tax strategy? Tax strategy? What's tax strategy? Oh, you mean like personal corporation? Man, that's a huge, big topic. I'll try to I'll make that a note. We'll talk about that later. Almost my battery is about to die. I mean, my energy levels. What age did you get your real estate license? If you're asking me, I am 30 now. So I got my license when I was 28.5. Should you take us on a day where you're house hunting with a client? You should take us on a day where you house hunt. Actually, we used to do house bus tours before COVID. Hopefully, we'll start soon once this things settle down, when people are comfortable with running with people. Yeah, definitely, that's a great idea. I'll plan for that. Do you have any mentor that guide you through your real estate investing journey? Yes, Mike. Indirectly, my agent, who, at that time was Cassidy, and her boyfriend. They started actually Win City Real Estate Investor Club, and I was the first member for that club. Me and my wife, and we started playing like a Monopoly game, cash flow game. So they were indirectly they were like not just my sales agent, also like they were guiding me, because they already owned, by the time they had like 15 units or something, 11 units or 15 units. So they are definitely ahead of me in the game. So I was like literally I made them a good friends, because they're in the path where they are going, and they really guided me in many ways, even for getting my license, even after getting my license. So the Win City Real Estate team actually started by my partner Cassidy, also was my mentor technically, she and her boyfriend. So I'm always thankful for them. And I met many other mentors along the way, but like not professionally. I didn't hire anyone like as a mentor, but I found friends who are doing things, and I was like following them and learning along the way. How stressful you were while shopping around for your first home, and I want your experience that I can implement in my search. Just a good question. I actually made a video on that. It's a while ago. It's really stressful, man. It took me 6 months because I was like, not only just new, I'm an international guy. I don't have parents here. I don't, at that time, none of my friends own a property, and I was all living in apartment buildings. So that means I don't know anything about houses. It was really stressful and I didn't know anything. But one thing, I was like really persistent and consistent. I was looking no matter what. I was looking every day and I was making offers. I was looking, making offers. I was persistent. And finally, once you got that first property, man, opens up so many things. And from there on, it will explore. Prashant, you're very welcome, brother. Anytime. Niklesh, big fan of Soma girl. Watching you since past 6 months. Great going. Thank you so much, buddy. Jay Bale. Oh man. Uh, okay, it's done. Time to wrap up and have a take a nap. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for hopping on. And if you have more questions, I'm gonna post this video. Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you have any other questions that you want me to make videos on. And on top of that, do me a favor, guys, hit that thumbs up button and leave the comment below, because if you don't hit that thumbs up button, obviously Facebook doesn't show these videos for everyone. And share my content if you really feel someone, international people like me, who are looking to do something. If you feel this can help them, send them my videos. That's the only way you can say thank you for my time here. Sai, I just moved to Canada on PR 6 months ago. Just started building my credit score, and will I be able to land my first deal soon? Yes, if you have a job. So if you have PR and if you have a job, if you're out of probation period, most likely you will qualify. Go talk to different lenders. You will be able to find I'm pretty sure I helped a couple of clients who were in your situation. Only difference is they had job. So if you're self-employed, then it takes some time. But again, doesn't hurt. You can even find private money if someone is confident on you. So go talk to different lenders. With that, guys, sorry, I have to hop out. And thank you so much for hopping. Have a wonderful evening, guys.